Hey, what's going on, guys? Gonna be doing a Let's Play playthrough of Day of Billions here, and hopefully you guys like it. It's a zombie survival real-time strategy game where basically you build up a town, gather resources, tech up, so research and learn things in order to make your town a little bit more durable. Go ahead and play the game. Go ahead and go to these preset settings. This is usually locked. I did go ahead and play the first map already, but I didn't do a video, so we're going to do the Dark Moorland. In the Dark Moorland, the terrain is very intricate as it forms towards small plains. Small rivers and pools can be useful terrain against the infected, but will make the colony much harder to expand. Basically, lots of good choke points or areas that you can fortify in order to survive the attacks, but not a lot of open spaces. Infection population. You can do just a few infected, but as you see, your spore factor drops down very low, accessible, very low population. We're going to go with medium to the spore factor at 100%. And when you are choosing through these, it does say that you have to have a spore factor of 100% to pass through. So, say for instance, we could know that we need to do 80 days, we would reach our spore factor. But again, we're just going to keep it at 100, so that the minimum we pass these questions, and we'll go ahead and set it after that. Different scenarios. So 100 days, you have 100 days to win the game, create a company and stay alive for the duration of the game. Hordes infected are the same regardless of the duration that's selected, therefore the longer the duration, the easier the game will be, as you have more time to build your defenses before the horde arrives. Alright, everything looks good. Let's go ahead and start. Bringing doom, restoring misfortune. Press enter to go to the command center. From there you can build all structures available. That's a great tip actually. So here's our starting point. And real quick, first tip, press spacebar or press this pause button there. As you can see it says space right there. And space allows you to interact on the map without actually losing any in-game time. I do find myself using the space button quite a bit, as that will allow me to make decisions and decide what I want to do next.
Waiting on orders.
So in-game time it might be total 1 hour, but then paused real time usually about 3 hours or so, depending on how long you intend to play it. So every colony sets up the same. You get 1 soldier and 4 rangers. You get 100 gold and you get 20 wood. This button here is useful. Enter space. You can either double click here or you can press enter. Go to the command center. Basically, you click on your town hall or the center of your town, or where your town should be, or the what is this? If you lose this building, you lose the game center. So we'll go through each of these tabs here right now, actually. So first off, you have colonists, building units under the category of colonists. Basically, there will be 2 more options here as you continue to research and tech up, but they are things like tents, I think it's a cottage, and then a stone house afterwards, but basically they give you gold. This is your source of income and how you begin to increase your gold, and how you begin to learn new things, research new things, build new things, build more things. But under tent here, you can see that it says food is 4, energy is 1, gold is 30. Basic dwelling for the colonists. Colonists provide gold and workers for the colony. provides defensive life 15, watch range is 6, colonists is 4, workers 2. Basically, it has 15 health. It has a range of 6 squares. So if you click on it, you see these little squares. It expands out to 6 units, or 6 little squares here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not the 2 units that's highlighted here, but just individual. And it provides 8 gold for every single one that you build. So we will need to build a bunch of those eventually, but not right at this moment. And then we also have buildings that give us or provide us resources. These are great, and you will be building a lot of these. They each cost 1 energy. For the hunter's cottage and the fisherman's cottage, they cost 1 energy and 1 gold, or and 80 gold. As you see, the more advanced buildings for workers, they actually also require workers. So these are basically free buildings that you don't need to have any of these tents for, or buildings. But these higher level resource structures do require that you have a certain number of available workers or colonists. As you see, they also cost 30 wood for the quarry, and the sawmill costs 300 gold, and these are only costing 80 gold. So eventually we're going to need to build the sawmill once we have enough gold, and then we'll want to build a quarry so that we can get things like stone, iron, gold, from things like this here. This is like a stone patch here that you can gather resources from, and we'll need those for later in the game. Energy. Energy is also essential. So when I first showed you here the tents, you see how this area here is lit up, and the squares are highlighted. However, down here, if you place a building on here, you're trying to build on it, you can't build. That's because similar if you've ever played like StarCraft 2, how the Zerg have the creep spread. If you don't have energy far enough out or connected, you're not able to build on it. So once we move our building back into the highlighted squares, then you are able to build. However, if you do not have energy, these Tesla towers, which expands the range of the colony, then you're not able to build anymore. So we also have mills. Mills also generate energy. Right now we have, sorry about that, we have 30 energy currently that we can use to build a variety of buildings that we want to use. So if you see here, it costs 1 energy, this one costs 1 energy, this one costs 4 energy. Eventually you're going to keep building more and more buildings, and you're going to use up more and more energy. Industry lets you build things that are essential to your technology and your research. If you build a wood workshop, it allows researching for complex structures made from wood. Basically, it opens a building, or you build a building, and then within that building you can increase your technology, and you can build like things like soldiers. You can build ballista towers, which are like self-defense systems, and there's a bunch of things that you can build. Like you can build farms, you can build advanced buildings. It gives you a list, a ton of things that you can do. Next, we have military. Military basically is our soldier center. It gives us the option to build the building that will allow us to build more soldiers and different soldiers. So that'll be good later on. And then also defense. Obviously, there's simple things like walls, gates, which you can pass through, and then towers, which you can put units into. So, but I do want to also give a shout out to, I think it was Asian Elite 123 for his original Let's Play They Are Billions videos. I watched a couple of his videos, probably like 2 or 3 of his videos, and I got my build ideas and my build order mostly from him, and it helped a lot. So if you're wanting to learn more, or you want to take a look at a different YouTuber channel, feel free to hit him up. So, alright, but let's go ahead, and while we're paused, another cool trick is that you can build. So let's say, for instance, we build something here. We see that we no longer have as much money as what we had before. Anyways, the trick is that you can build and you can delete what you built because you're in pause at no cost. So if we delete it, boom, we go right back up to 100, and you can go back again, try to build something again, boom, we lose 80 gold again. So, but again, we can delete it and build it again somewhere else. Say for instance, I'm building Hunter's Cottage, and oops, I accidentally built it there. That wasn't the best location. Actually, instead, it looks like 11 food, 10, 11. I built it there instead, and I'm getting 13 there. That's possibly where you want to do it. It depends. But that's the great thing about the pause button, and that's why I said in game time, when the game's actually running, it'll probably be about an hour. But paused time that you're researching, doing things, thinking things through, spending your resources, it'll probably equate to about 3 hours total for an entire map here. So let's go ahead and choose the Fisherman's Cottage. I like the 14 food a little bit better. Let's see how much we're getting up here. 14, 12, 13, 14, 14, 14, 14, 13, 12, 14, 12, 14. Let's go ahead and go with this 14 right here. Another thing to note is that I'll show you in a bit, but when you build certain resource building, you can't overlap the same squares that it's using as far as the resource. So the resource here in this case would be this lake. This little lake here is providing this Fisherman Cottage food for our town, for our little colony. And if I were to build another fishing cottage, we can't build it right next to it because it's already occupying the same space. So I would have to then build it over here, or say build one over here. And you have to always be using different areas of resource. So that's something good to note as well. And then we'll just continue explaining as we play through. So let's go ahead and once again select this one. Go ahead, run with it, and unpause or press space, and let's go. Oh, also one thing, just pause again. So now that I've unpaused, if I try to destroy this, I would only get half of the original resource cost. So it cost us 80 gold and 1 energy. Obviously, we'll get our energy back because we won't be using it, but we'll only get 40 gold instead of 80 gold. So let's go ahead and send these soldiers out. So every soldiers, they're a little bit heavier, and so they have more stuff to carry, so they're slower. Also, their weapons are louder, they do more damage, but they also attract more enemies. So typically, I won't use soldiers as much. I'll probably just only use the rangers. They're quieter. They have less, a little bit longer range, one additional range, but they're a little bit easier, they're cheaper, and you know, they cost less to build. So let's go ahead and explore our surroundings.
Do you need me? Let's get them!
Alright, so I want you to go over here. Let's see. This is not good. We have a Village of Doom right next to us.
Yeah.
So
Roger
That's
that.
kind of scary, but
You
the good
called
thing
that,
is,
man.
oh, a couple zombies there.
Yeah.
The great thing is, there's a wall that we can build here and here and kind of block them off, so we don't have to be too worried about that. I see down here, looks like there's some wood.
Orders, sir.
Every game you'll find that there's a bunch of there'll be like a debris pile, and then there'll be free resources sitting around there that you can use. So that'll be really beneficial to us in the start here. Just make sure that you can actually use the resources before you gather them. I find that sometimes if you aren't careful about what you
Commander?
are needing to build and what you have available to build, you'll be sitting on your resources for a while, and then they'll pile up, and you only have a certain cap, and then you'll kind of be wasting your resources after that. So
At your
let's go ahead and
service.
send this guy back here.
Attention.
Wait
Building
there.
You're gonna pay me for
Leave
this,
you
right?
here. And control back
Order?
and forth.
You
You
pay.
can either hit P, or else you can hit this patrol button
Are you
here,
sure?
and have them kind of just go back and forth to guard a certain area. And let's keep exploring up north. Looks like we won't go east for now, but we had our first instance of money come through, so now we have 213 gold. And what we want to do is eventually we want to have this sawmill so that we can start generating wood, because if you see, we don't have enough wood to build this quarry. And what the quarry does is gives us stone, and later on we can use the stone, like I was explaining in the beginning of the video. We can use the stone to then build more advanced buildings. So I know that we're short 100, looks like about 100 gold. If we go and pick this up, it'll give us, I believe it's 500 gold.
Orders, sir.
But at the same time, we also want to make sure that we're building our colonies and making sure that we're getting more and more of those. So let's go ahead and start building some of these, and I'll start to explain to you why it's important to understand the spacing that I'm going to use for the tents here. So generally, when you're playing this game, I've watched a couple of other playthroughs. People just kind of build tents kind of wherever sporadically is available. They try and use as much space as they can. But because of the videos that I've seen Asian Elite 123 play, I actually realized, and he realized, that you want to expand as far as much as you can and have multiple waves of protection for the end when 100 days hits, or actually it's 95 days hits, and the end wave comes and you have to try and defeat everybody. So what we're going to do is we're going to build all of these tents in one area all together, just because I know that it'll be good, and I'll explain to you later why we're building them all in a row and trying to keep them as confined in a space as possible. So let's go ahead and
Better be
play.
good. Okay.
See,
You are gonna pay
just
me
got a
for this,
couple
right?
areas to explore here.
Are you sure?
Hopefully, possibly, this
Okay.
is a choke point.
Are you sure?
Nope, not looking
Yeah.
like it. So, we will
I hope
have
you're not
to
wasting my
eventually.
Yeah.
Oh, this is good.
Are you
See,
sure?
so you see here, my ranger, even though I'm
Yes.
trying to click over here,
A colony must
you can
have a
access
mayor.
it. So, oh, this is awesome actually. So here, you will always have different levels of a mayor, and eventually you will, you obviously have to choose. If I choose Winford Schmid, I get a quarry, and if I choose Alyssa Lister, I get wood production +2. In the immediate need right now, the quarry actually helps me way more than wood production +2. If you playing for the long run, wood production would be great, but eventually wood is kind of obsolete anyway, so let's go ahead and run with the quarry for our mayor. So we get, let's go ahead and pause. Once you get a free or a bonus item or bonus units, sometimes you do get free units. you'll get a little chest down here, which is your bonus. So what we're gonna go ahead and do is select our quarry and stone 3, stone 3, 3, 3. Looks like the best we can get out of this is a 3. If by chance we eventually expand up here, we can get 6, 6, 6, 5. It gets a lot better up here, but obviously, as you can see, what I was saying earlier, my expansion, the ground that I can build on, has not reached all the way up there yet. So we're gonna go ahead and plop this guy. Yeah, right here is pretty good for me. I like that. That's not too bad. And then also, since we have 194 gold, 20 wood, let's see if we can build a sawmill yet. Nope, not yet. We still need 300 gold. So we're gonna go ahead and wait for our next level of, or our next income to come in. And I can build more tents, but again, because we're trying to build a sawmill, we'll just go ahead and wait for that.
You are
So
going
we're
to pay me
use
for this, right?
our defensive units, and then go and search
Gotcha.
for more possible areas. So, oh great! So I pause it again, even though we just moved. Looks like another Village of Doom.
You again.
Basically, Villages of Doom are old buildings that kind of look like a castle.
Better be good.
I'll show you in a second here. I might die if I bring this over here, but I'll show you eventually. But if you bring these things, if you start attacking these things, tons and tons and tons of zombies and special zombies start flooding out of these, and they come and attack you, and then they'll eventually go to your village and kill your command center. So that is not good. What you'll want to
You are
do
going to pay me
is
for this, right?
introduce late game units, or if you
Oh,
have like
Here we go again.
Infinity Rangers, which is never going to happen. I mean, you'll probably have like maybe at max like 20, 30 Rangers. But if you have like a lot that you can afford to waste, then you can go ahead and attack these, and then hopefully you can get rid of it, and there'll be a bunch of debris piles, and they'll have a bunch of extras left for you. But for now, we're just gonna kind of leave it alone. We'll grab these 2 resources. I believe these give you, and that's an autosave. It'll always autosave for you. But I believe these will always give you, I think it's 10. But
What's up?
we'll go ahead and
Anything left
unpause it
in
and
the
grab
rest? Are you
10, 10. Yeah, you kind of see how it's like an old village. There's Tavern of Doom, Dwelling of Doom.
sure? You again.
It's
I'm not wasting my time.
it's not good
Yeah.
news. That's basically what that means. So
Great.
looks like we will not
Yeah.
be expanding to
Roger
the east for sure. So that's a guarantee. So let's go ahead and pause. We're gonna wall right here. We're gonna build a wall right here. We're gonna possibly expand south. But as it stands right now, we're gonna wall it right here too. I don't know if I said that already. We want to avoid this. We want to avoid this. And we're gonna take a look at what's out west. So let's go ahead and grab this girl. And
Hold that. The plan.
we'll take a look. Oh, let me pause one more time. And then you can either hit enter, or I just usually click on this little button here. This is for later information too. Basically, when you start getting into skirmishes or fights with the zombies and you have defensive structures, sometimes your buildings or your structures get damaged or destroyed. You don't have to rebuild them, you can just repair them. And then this is also lets you see your mayor. See, so your different population levels. Once you have 200 population, you get another mayor, 600, and then you get a 4th level mayor as well. So let's go ahead and see where we want to build our sawmill. This sawmill is going to give us 10, 8. That's not that great. 7, 7, 7, 8, 7. This one will give us 10, but we don't have. There's 2 squares missing here that we need power to in order for us to build it there. So for now, we'll just go ahead and build this one, and then eventually we'll come around and build this one. So let's go ahead and drop that guy down there. We don't have to worry about this because there's nothing that can get through here. The forest is blocking that, so all we need to worry about is up here. And so we're just going to go ahead
better
and
be
start
good. Roger that.
exploring over here. Over to zombies right there. Leave those guys there.
Guide me to the
Bring this guy down here.
Come on.
Let's go ahead and wood.
Orders, sir.
Let's see. What would we do with wood, and gold? We don't have any expansions up here, and we could only go out west, but we don't know what's out there yet, so I don't know if I want to grab that yet. We can build Tesla towers, which will allow us to expand our areas, so that'll be good. That requires wood 10, which I have, and we're short on gold, so maybe I'll just grab this one and this one. And let's see, what else do we need? We have our quarry already, so we're not too worried about that. And we can't build a workshop yet until we get more wood and more gold. So let's go ahead and grab one of this.
For the colony!
Yep, so 500 gold and 10 wood. And now I do have the option of building this wood workshop. However, I feel like this is not going to be really beneficial to me right now. So let's go ahead and build a Tesla tower. And because we know that we want to build our other wood workshop right here, let's go ahead and build it right here, I say. Yeah, that's not too bad. Let's go ahead and build it there. We're gonna need another Tesla tower up north here, or northeast, so let's build one there. And then I have one more that I can build. What I'm doing is I'm counting how many spaces, so you can build these right next, these cottages or these tents right next to each other, like see, so you can double up rows like this. So I'll have 2 here, 2 here, 2 here, 2 here. What I'm doing is you'll always need one space in between them, and then you'll have 2, you know, like it'll be these 4 will be 1, these 4 will be 1, and then you have another 4 over here. So I'm just kind of trying to decide where I want to build this, and I'm thinking I want to build this here. It kind of gives us the largest area of expansion, so we'll go ahead and build that there. And now we don't have enough money to really build anything, but we'll go ahead and unpause, slowly bring this ranger over.
Roger that.
And see. If I remember correctly, there are zombies right here.
Roger that.
That's kind of a bummer.
Order?
Let's see what there is down here.
Great.
Hopefully there's a bunch of area to expand to. Kind of, not really.
Yes.
Attention.
So what I'm thinking is we haven't really explored south, so this way is a little bit limited. That's because there's so many zombies here. Until we get actual soldiers out, we need to build soldiers. We need wood, stone, and gold. We have our stone coming. It's giving us 3 stone every 8 hours. We have our wood, which is 10 wood every 8 hours. We're going to have another wood eventually. And let's see, what is that? 7... That's like 4 days, right? I think. 3 days? It'll be 3 days before we have enough for that. Enough stone. I guess that's not horrible, but it's not great either. You know what? I think I'm kind of regretting putting this quarry here, but we will eventually just expand northward, and we'll wall it off. But we'll put a quarry here anyways, because as long as you don't attack it, it won't attack you. So we'll at least be able to gather some of these resources, and then we'll eventually be able to protect it, because we'll kill this, and then we'll be able to wall this off and wall this off. But we're gonna go south and see what's south, and then we'll see what happens then. So I'll catch you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe, and again, shout out to Asian Elite 123. He gave me a lot of tips that I use, and we'll kind of see how this playthrough goes. So hopefully we win this Let's Play. All right, thanks.